You know, the challenges that come with CF, we are just always, we don't stop, right? We're just like, we just keep going. And I think that's so important. And then just, yeah, like I said, gratitude, I think has really helped me.
I read quite a few books this October, but I also listened to a lot of books too, so I'll also be including the audiobooks that I listened to. I know some people don't really like audiobooks, but for me, when I'm multitasking or working on things around the house, I like to be listening to a book. That way I can read and go through more books than I would if I was actually just sitting down and reading. So, I'll start with the physical copy of books that I read, and then I'll end it with the audiobooks. The first book that I'd read this October was All This Time by Mickey Daughtry and Rachel Lippincott. These are both the same authors of 5 Feet Apart. This is not a sequel to 5 Feet Apart, it's just their second book together. But I was really excited to read this just because I loved the writing style of 5 Feet Apart. I'm not going to talk too much about this book because I do want to do a book review of this book. I want to do book reviews of the books that I really loved. So I'll be doing a book review on this, but I can definitely say I loved this book so much. In fact, the book that I had pre-ordered and I had bought and read, as soon as I was done with it, I sent it to one of my friends because I knew that she would love it as well. Then I actually went online and bought the Barnes & Noble exclusive version, because the Barnes & Noble exclusive version has an extra chapter that includes 5 Feet Apart characters, which is really cool. And anyone who knows me knows how much I love 5 Feet Apart. So I loved this book, but again, I'll be talking more about it later when I do the actual book review. The next book I'm also going to be doing a book review on, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but that is Queen's Shadow by E.K. Johnston. This book was so good. It is a Star Wars book, and I do own a couple Star Wars books, but I'm very picky on the Star Wars books that I read. So this one was so good. I absolutely loved it. This one I actually half read and half listened to on an audiobook. I listen to a lot of my audiobooks with an app that's connected to my library, which is really nice, so then I'm not spending tons of money. But I went back and forth between listening and reading, and it was just an incredible book. Loved it so much. But again, I'll be talking more about it in a future book review. The next book I also listened to and I read as well, and that is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I'd actually mentioned I had gotten this book back last year. Yeah, last year when I was in Colorado. I'd shown it in the vlog and shown I had gotten it because I really wanted to watch the movie. This is the same author as Everything, which is one of my favorite books. So I was hoping that I would love this book as much as I loved Everything, and also because I had heard so many great things about this book. But unfortunately, I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. It is very good. It's a very interesting story. Basically, this book is about this girl named Natasha, who is an immigrant from Jamaica, and then about a boy named Daniel, who is Korean American. And Natasha and her family were actually in the midst of getting ready to be deported back to Jamaica when she had met Daniel. And it's a really interesting story about the two of them and how they instantly get this natural connection over time, and their friendship and relationship that is described in this book. It seems like it's a huge amount of time and that they've known each other for so many years, but really all of this happens in this book happens in one day. So it was really interesting reading that and going back and forth with the characters, because each chapter it's broken down between the characters. So one part it's Natasha talking about it in her point of view, and the next part is Daniel talking about it in his point of view, and then other characters, I guess other supporting characters, also has it in their point of view as well. So I thought that was really interesting, and I did like that take on with The Sun Is Also a Star, but it honestly wasn't my favorite read. But when I got towards the middle slash end part of the book is when I really started to get into it. Now the next book is just like a little fun book that my mom had given me, and this is Misty Copeland's new book called Bun Heads, and it's an illustrated book. I'll show you guys some of the artwork, but it was just a cute little story. If you don't know who Misty Copeland is, she is one of my favorite ballerinas and has definitely changed the ballet industry, and she was the first black ballerina to be in the American Ballet Theater in New York City, which is a huge deal. So she's definitely changed the industry, but she's one of my favorites. And I thought the illustrations in this book were so beautiful. I mean, obviously there's a lot more illustrations, but I thought they were so beautiful, and it's just a fun little story to read. I'll actually read what it's about. From prima ballerina and New York Times best-selling author Misty Copeland comes the story of a young Misty who discovers her love of dance through the ballet Coppelia, a story about a toy maker who devises a villainous plan to bring a doll to life. Misty is so captivated by the tale and its heroine, Swanilda, she decides to audition for the role. But she's never danced ballet before. In fact, this is the very first day of her very first dance class. Though Misty is excited, she's also nervous. But as she learns from her fellow bunheads, she makes wonderful friends who encourage her to do her very best. Misty's nerves quickly fall away, and with a little teamwork, the bunheads put on a show to remember. So this book is just so cute, so beautiful, and I absolutely loved it. I think it's fun to get little books like this. The last book that I had read, I actually listened to, and that was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Now, I have never read Harry Potter, shocker, I know, but I never read or listened to Harry Potter. I obviously know who Harry Potter is and know all that, but I've never seen the movies, and I was just never really into it. But lately I was kind of curious, and I'm like, you know, let me see why my friends love this series so much. So yeah, I started reading Harry Potter, and I absolutely loved it. It was definitely so magical and definitely took you to Hogwarts, took you to another world. But I really loved the storyline and the writing style. It really drew me in and made me want to know who all the characters were and who were all in the houses and all of that. So it's definitely been a fun read slash listen. I would be actually reading the book, but my library isn't open right now, so that's why I can only listen to it right now. But I absolutely loved it. I do know that I'm a Ravenclaw. A long time ago, my friends sat me down and they're like, if you're not gonna read Harry Potter, you should at least know what house you're in. So I'm a Ravenclaw. Thankfully, my friends did not spoil Harry Potter for me, so I don't really know everything that happens. It's not something I looked up either, because I knew there would be a time that I would eventually want to read Harry Potter. So I absolutely love the series so far, so I'm excited to be listening to it. There will be more book videos on this channel, so I hope you guys enjoy seeing these videos. I love making these videos and I love watching these videos. So if you guys have any book recommendations, definitely put them below, because I'll definitely check them out. But also keep an eye out for a little bookstore vlog slash book haul. I filmed that a little bit ago, so I'll be putting that up pretty soon. And also keep an eye out for the book reviews for All This Time and Queen Shadow. So I'll talk to you guys next time, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and again, comment any book recommendations or if you've read any of these books. But with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!